Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, when Ruto was campaigning, he managed to draw a line between the rich and the poor. So it was very clear that for him he is focusing to make a government with the poor. The people he referred to as Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, the hustler. That was his group. And it was clear that he will not join the rich to work for the rich. He wants to work for the poor, to raise the life of the poor to a better situation. And that's when the bottom up came in. Every time he will always talk about bottom up. So it was to take the poor to the upwards. But surprisingly, after Ruto taking over power, seemingly, the most suffering people in this country, they are the people referred to as Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, the hustler. I'm talking about the poor. They are becoming even more worse from where they were. Ruto has become a tormentor of the poor people in this country. The widowers, the less privileged in our society have now nothing in terms of anything to hold that. For example, as we're speaking now, the biggest burden we have in this January and February, it is taking to school our children who did their KCPE exam and those who are going to junior secondary school in terms of school fees, uniform, and the other needed materials for learning. Surprisingly, in a country like Kenya, we have students who manage to score 400 marks, 300 marks. But you'll find them, they are in a quarry, wanagonga mawe, waende wauze kokoto, ballast, ndio wapate school fees ya kwenda. Will you even manage that school fees? We have seen children hawking boiled eggs to get school fees. And if you check on their score, they have 400 marks. Raila was here, but he never drew a line between the rich and the poor. He had a plan for the rich, he had a plan for the poor. In fact, the less privileged, he was promising to give 6,000. And for him, it was very clear. He's going to make education free. But then Ruto also rushed in and said that education is going to be free in Kenya Kwanza. But we have a big problem. No school fees. But then, Pst Ezekiel, a man of God that we have been mentioning here more times, he has come out to challenge William Samuel Ruto. And he has managed to take 100 children to secondary school. Hawa ni watoto wenye waliitwa kwa shule, those national schools. But they cannot afford school fees. So, just check the difference between William Ruto and the men of, when Ruto anaambia kwamba we have problem here, he called for prayers. But today we have seen Pst Ezekiel going to sort out the problem. Watch this video first.
Nafikiri jana nyote mliona kwa mtandao kwamba kuna msichana mmoja kutoka kule Magarini katika ile shule ambayo ilifanya vyema zaidi katika Kilifi County inaitwa Bandacho Primary School. Iko na watoto 90 na wawili. Katika watoto wao wawili peke yake ndio walipata maksi 307. Wengine wote walipata maksi nyingi sana. Wale wa juu wakiwa watoto 18 waliopata zaidi ya alama 400 na. Katika watoto wao mmoja tuko naye hapa anaitwa Sara. Jana nilipopata habari kwamba mtoto huyo ataweza kwenda shule, nilipigia simu mwalimu, na bahati mbaya mwalimu mkuu baada ya kuongea na yeye mpaka sasa hivi ako hospitali, alipata mshtuko kwamba alifanya bidii watoto wamepita na wajaenda shule. Lakini akatuma naibu wake. Usiku nilipopiga tena nikapata amelazwa hospitali. Nikashangaa, nikajua kumbe walimu wanakuanga na pressure watoto kama waendi shule. Hao wote pastor ametoa msaada wake leo wa miaka 4 kila mtoto, na itamgharimu yeye shilingi 700,000 kwa hiyo miaka 4. Vile vile pastor ameongezea na tutakuwa na sherehe pale kanisani Jumapili, na nataka mkuje hapo ndio muangazie, msione tu mkiitishwa sadaka ama mkiambiwa toa sadaka. Sadaka isaidii watu.
Tutatumana buses zetu hapa ziwachukue, na pia tutatumana nauli kuwatoa nyumbani, sababu huenda hata mzazi hana hiyo nauli ya kumleta. Kama huyu aliuza kuku, atembee kwa mguu afike kwa governor. Na hii ni kwa sababu ninaamini ya kwamba kanisa linahubiri injili, watu waokoke, watu wapone, na pia pale kuna tatizo kanisa linahusika, sababu Kristo anafanya kazi ndani ya mtu. Kwa hivyo personally na kwa niaba ya kanisa tunasema ni asante, na pia kwa watu wa media wakiwa wana highlight matatizo kama haya yanaweza kuwafikia wale ambao pia wanatamani kusaidia.
Now we are continuing with the Punchline discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, I must say thank you so much, and again to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to this discussion. Now, that is Kilifi County. We understand governors have their own plan of giving bursary, but of course that money cannot reach out to everyone. Members of parliament also, they have their own plan of giving their bursary, but again this money end up in rich families. So the poor do not get what they are supposed to get. But the question we are having today, why should children struggle to go to school in this country? Why is it that Ruto cannot make education free in this country? Raila had promised that, and we knew he was going to do it. When Kibaki came to power, he never complained about the treasury looted. He came in, and the following day we had free primary education and subsidized secondary education. Yes, Ruto is 6 months, but we can see the damage is beyond control. Seemingly, even the poor are not going to afford education. The less privileged, the only thing that equalizes the poor and the rich is only education. So once you give a chance to a child from a poor family, you have really helped. But going forward, it's like these children will not have that chance. Because you see, they end up missing school because they cannot raise school fees. Sasa anaenda pale kwa ile shule ya kijiji pale, mtu mwenye angekuja na a clean A, unaenda huko sasa unapata C-. Sababu hivyo ndio kama unakuja na C+. Then again you cannot afford to pay parallel in university. Now you can see the difference between true men of God and a president who is a hypocrite. If you tell Ruto you are hungry, Ruto will offer prayer for you. The other day he was praying, and I remember First Lady was very clear that those people who attended this prayer, they are going to be billionaires. That is what First Lady said. How do you become billionaire after attending the prayer when you're not helping even our own kid to go to school? If the pastor, man of God, understand that we don't need to pray to get school fees, just try to offer what you have. Then pray for this kid so that God will continue to open the door. He understand. So yeye anaenda kwa ile sadaka, anatoa, anapeleka watoto shuleni, alafu maombi iongezwe hapo. But the president is only offering prayer. Sasa hawa watoto vile tulisema ni wa bodaboda, ni wa mamboga. These are orphans, the less privileged in our society. The people Ruto say that is going to uplift their life. So where is bottom up? Bottom up means taking these children to school without charging any fees to equalize. Because we can see rich are comfortably taking their children to school. In fact, even they are coming in to help those who are needy. Wale Ruto alisema ni matajiri, hao ndio wamerudi hapa chini kusaidia wale wenye hawana school fees. They are racing online and even reaching to their village. Na kama unanisikiza na uko na uwezo na kuna mtu in your area, please try to help. I know many have done so. So that is where we are. A government that does not care about the future of this country. The promise was hot air. It was fake. So Ruto literally just robbed your vote for those who voted for William Ruto. He was robbing you. He has robbed your future. He has robbed the future of your children. And now you are going to be much poorer. If indeed he mean good, then he should stop praying and then start acting. Pst Ezekiel is offering prayer and the act that goes with the prayer. Huwezi enda kuombea mtu mwenye ako na njaa na hauna kitu unampelekea. Huwezi enda kuombea mgonjwa na hata hauna njia ya kumsaidia apate matibabu. Never. Hiyo haifanyiki hapa. So if men of God understand this, why is Ruto playing hypocrite? Kwa nini yeye amekuwa tu mtu wa sarakasi? So Kenyans should tell William Ruto they don't need his prayer. We have enough preachers who can pray. They just need him to get to the office and make life affordable for everyone in this country. Hata sijui Machogo anajua, huyu Machogo anafanya kwa ofisi ya education. Yeye anajua kuna watoto walipata 400 and hawako shuleni. It's like he don't know. May God rest the soul of Magoha in peace. I don't think if this could have happened if Magoha is in the office. He will be there. You can see even teachers wanashikwa na ugonjwa wa moyo. Yani unasikia wewe mulikazana mtoto akapata 400 but because of school fees they can't go to school. Na mwalimu wa primary yule head teacher hana uwezo wa kusaidia. Anashikwa na ugonjwa wa moyo, anashikwa na ugonjwa wa pressure inashika yeye, anaenda hospitali. Just look at that. But seemingly we have a president who don't care. What he care is all about taxes. But he cannot account for the same taxes. I'm seeing poor becoming more poor. Na alikuwa anasema ya kwamba hasla hapangwingi. Na ukweli walikuwa anasema hawapangwingi. Sasa leo Ruto anawapanga ajabu. Maskini anapangwa kupangwa. Mama mboga anapangwa vizuri kabisa. Boda boda amenyoroshwa kabisa, amepangwa. Na wakati wa kampeni ilikuwa ya kwamba hatupangwingwi. Good. Now you can feel the heat. We were electing a preacher or a president. We were looking for someone who can govern. Now, every time when there is a problem, instead of offering the technical solution needed, they turn into prayer. Hata hii maombi si maombi. In fact, it is a campaign. Because you will see people are donning in yellow colors. That is a UDA rally. So, when will your president start working for you? Yule mtu mwenye alipigia Ruto kura, when will he start working for you? When will he recognize that we have poor people in this country? He only recognizes you when he's campaigning. After campaign, he forgot. Sasa mnabaki tu na real pastors kama hawa wanajitokeza kusaidia wale watoto ambao hawajiwezi.